Have you ever wondered if you're ready for a major disaster? It's a question that lingers in the back of our minds, often brushed aside until the unforeseen happens. Disasters, both natural and man-made, are unpredictable, capable of disrupting our daily lives in the blink of an eye. They come in various forms, from earthquakes and hurricanes to cyber attacks and pandemics. The reality is that these events are inevitable. It's not a matter of if, but when. That's where disaster preparedness comes into play. It's about equipping ourselves with the right tools, knowledge, and plans to weather the storm. A well-prepared individual not only increases their chances of survival, but also experiences less stress and anxiety when a disaster strikes. They can better protect their loved ones and contribute positively to their community's resilience. So let's embark on this journey of preparedness together. Remember, the key to survival lies in preparedness. The first thing to consider in any disaster plan is water. Water is the lifeblood of survival, a necessity we often take for granted until it's suddenly not available. Imagine a day without water. It's not only inconvenient, it's potentially life-threatening. The golden rule in disaster preparedness is ensuring you have enough water to last each person in your household at least 3 days. That's roughly 1 gallon per person per day. This accounts for drinking, cooking, and minimal personal hygiene. Now let's talk about storage. Commercially bottled water is the simplest and safest choice. It's sealed, portable, and has a longer shelf life. However, if you're storing tap water, make sure to use food-grade water storage containers. And remember, even the cleanest water can become contaminated, so having a method of purification, such as boiling, chemical treatment, or filtration, is crucial. With adequate water storage, you're already one step ahead in disaster preparedness. Next, think about food supplies. When disaster strikes, grocery stores might not be an option. Therefore, having a stash of non-perishable food items is crucial. We're talking about canned goods, grains, pasta, and dried fruits, foods that can last months, even years without refrigeration. But don't just stockpile any food. Variety is key, not only for nutritional balance, but also to avoid what's known as food fatigue. That's when you get so bored with what you're eating, you'd rather go hungry. Consider dietary restrictions or allergies as well. If anyone in your household is gluten intolerant, for instance, make sure you have enough gluten-free options. Also, don't forget about comfort foods. In stressful situations, a bit of chocolate or a can of your favorite soup can be a real morale booster. So start building your food supplies now. Remember, it's not about hoarding, but about being prepared. A well-stocked food supply can make all the difference when disaster strikes. Now let's focus on shelter, your refuge in a storm. Shelter, whether it's your home or a designated safe place, is paramount in a disaster situation. It is not just about having a roof over your head, but ensuring this roof can withstand the forces it may be up against. Think about your home. Is it fortified enough to hold up against high winds, floods, or earthquakes? Reinforcing structures such as walls and roofs can make a substantial difference when Mother Nature shows her strength. But what about the weather? From extreme heat to sub-zero temperatures, your shelter must be prepared to provide protection and comfort in any situation. Insulation, heating, and cooling systems are all part of this equation. Remember, your shelter is more than a building. It's your fortress against the elements, a beacon of safety in uncertain times. With a secure shelter, you've created a safe haven for you and your loved ones. Power outages are common in disasters. Are you ready? Now let's delve into the world of alternative power and heating sources. When the lights go out, having a backup plan can make all the difference. Consider investing in a generator. This powerful piece of equipment can keep your home lit and your devices charged when the grid goes dark, but remember, they require fuel, so be sure to stock up. Solar panels are another great option. They harness the sun's energy, providing a renewable power source that's both clean and quiet. Plus, they're a long-term investment that can pay off, disaster or not. Don't forget about heating. A wood-burning stove can provide warmth and a way to cook food when other methods aren't available. It's an old-fashioned solution that still works wonders today. Remember, staying warm and powered up is crucial. So, take the time to explore these options and decide which ones best fit your needs and capabilities. In times of disaster, security becomes a top priority. It's a statement that rings true, whether we're talking about a natural disaster, a societal collapse, or even just a lengthy power outage. When everything else is in disarray, having a secure place to call home can make all the difference. Let's start with The basics: securing your doors and windows. Reinforcing entry points to your home can deter potential intruders and provide an additional layer of security. This could be as simple as installing deadbolt locks on doors, adding security bars to windows, or even applying security film to glass to prevent it from shattering. But physical barriers are just the starting point. An equally important aspect of security is having a well-thought-out family emergency plan. This plan should outline what each member of your family should do in different disaster scenarios. Where will you meet if you get separated? Who is responsible for grabbing the emergency kit? Knowing the answers to these questions ahead of time can help reduce panic and confusion when a disaster strikes. Now let's talk about communication. In a disaster scenario, your regular means of communication might not be available. That's why it's essential to have alternative methods in place. This could be anything from a set of walkie-talkies to a hand-crank radio for receiving emergency broadcasts. And finally, staying informed about local emergency services and evacuation routes is crucial. Know the locations of the nearest hospitals, police stations, and shelters. Familiarize yourself with different evacuation routes from your home and your city. Information is power, and in a disaster, it can be a lifeline. Remember, security isn't just about locking doors and keeping threats out. It's about creating a safe and stable environment for you and your loved ones where you can weather whatever comes your way. It's about being proactive, planning ahead, and being prepared. By taking these security measures, you're ensuring your family's safety. And ultimately, isn't that what we're all striving for? Medical emergencies don't wait for disasters to pass. Are you prepared? When calamity strikes, the last thing you want is to be unprepared for potential medical emergencies. A well-stocked first aid kit is a cornerstone of any disaster preparedness plan. This kit should contain essentials like bandages, antiseptics, tweezers, scissors, and medication for pain relief. But it's not just about having these items, it's about knowing how to use them. Basic medical knowledge can make the difference between a minor injury and a major problem. It's wise to learn basic first aid skills like CPR, how to treat burns and wounds, and how to recognize symptoms of common illnesses. But let's not forget about regular medications. If you or a member of your household takes daily medication, it's crucial to have an extra supply on hand. In the aftermath of a disaster, pharmacies may not be open or accessible. So, it's a good idea to talk to your doctor about getting an additional prescription to keep in your emergency kit. Special medical needs require special consideration. If someone in your household has a chronic illness, a disability, or requires regular medical treatments, take those needs into account when preparing for a disaster. This might mean storing extra medical equipment, preparing for power outages if the person relies on electrically powered medical devices, or having a plan in place for transportation to a medical facility if regular treatments are necessary. In the face of a disaster, being medically prepared can save lives. It can turn a potentially dire situation into a manageable one. It can provide comfort and relief in a time of uncertainty and fear, and most importantly, it can give you the confidence to face whatever comes your way. Remember, in a disaster, a first aid kit is worth its weight in gold. But beyond the physical supplies, your knowledge, your preparedness, and your ability to stay calm under pressure are truly invaluable. So take the time to prepare today, because when disaster strikes, it's the prepared who survive. We've covered a lot today, but remember, preparation is a journey, not a destination. In our journey today, we've explored the cornerstones of disaster readiness, from the critical importance of water storage and food supplies to the necessity of a secure shelter. Every step is crucial in building a comprehensive survival plan. We've discussed power and heating solutions, ensuring you won't be left in the dark when disaster strikes. We've delved into security measures to protect you and your loved ones in times of crisis. And we've underscored the essential role of medical preparedness because emergencies don't wait for convenient times. If you're yet to embark on your disaster preparedness journey, let today be your starting point. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to readiness. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, the best time to prepare was yesterday, the second best time is now.